She stood by the sink that morning, light from the window striping across her face in harsh lines, making her look caged. She didn't even blink when she said it. "If it bothers you that I'm sleeping with your friends, go ahead and leave. They'll be more than happy to fill your spot." Then she laughed, like it was some cruel joke, like her words weren't a knife twisted straight into my chest. I didn't yell, didn't throw anything, didn't ask who. I just nodded, my voice calm, steady. "All right," I said. Then quieter. "Our daughter." She laughed even harder. Thought I was bluffing. She always believed I was too mild to fight back. That was her mistake. We'd been together 10 years. Started dating in high school, the kind of couple people expected to last. We shared everything. History and side jokes, old dreams. But eventually, she started changing the rules. It began with the small things. Texts from men I knew, passed off as jokes. Nights out labeled as just the girls. Then the tone shifted. Less warmth, more distance. One night, she came home drunk and careless. Forgot to silence her phone. That's when I saw the name. Alex. My best friend since childhood. I scrolled and scrolled. Each message like pulling on a loose thread. Everything unraveled. Alex wasn't the only one. Jared, Malik, names I'd grown up with. Men I'd shared birthdays and barbecues with. Faces from our wedding album. She wasn't just cheating. She was targeting. Moving through my circle one by one like it was a checklist. This wasn't just betrayal. This was mockery. Humiliation. And that line she tossed so casually, it wasn't empty. She knew they'd step in. Some already had. What she didn't know was what I'd been putting together in the background. I never confronted her directly. Instead, I played along. Distant, yes, but not angry. Let her think she'd won. Let her grow comfortable. That was her second mistake. I started gathering proof. Installed monitoring software. Synced her cloud accounts. Logged everything. Photos, audio, screenshots, transcripts. It was all there, proof so solid no one could deny it. And while I was collecting data, I began preparing my response. I wasn't just a husband. I worked in pharmaceutical development. I had access to things, very particular compounds, legal, controlled, and virtually invisible unless you knew exactly what to test for. Over the next few months, I invited them over, one at a time, for drinks, poker, cookouts, just like old times. They laughed, they drank, they ate what I made. They never suspected a thing. The compound I used worked slowly. It mimicked a neurological condition. Spasms, temporary vision loss, heart palpitations. Alarming but not lethal. Traceable only to someone who knew where to look. Eventually, symptoms hit. One by one, they ended up in the ER. That's when I tipped the hospital off anonymously. Told them to screen for a rare synthetic agent found only in trial stages of certain research labs. Something very few professionals would even know about. The next day, every single one tested positive. Same agent, same batch, same side effects. They ended up in the same wing. Hooked to machines, terrified, trying to connect the dots. Then the doctors showed them the toxicology reports. One detail stood out. The compound's creator. My name. The registered inventor. I walked in later that afternoon. Calm. No rush. Alex sat up, startled. Jared looked away. Malik couldn't even meet my eyes. You should really be more careful about what you eat or drink when you're sleeping with someone else's wife. I said. They tried to speak. Some stammered apologies. Others tried to plead. I wasn't interested. I pulled out a folder. Inside, every conversation, every photo, every message they ever sent her. I set it on the table. For your wives, I said, when they ask. And then I left. I saved her for last. When I got home, she was back in the kitchen, stirring soup like the world hadn't shifted. She looked up and smiled. How are your friends? She asked. They're alive, I replied, scared out of their minds. Should recover in a few weeks. Her smile faltered. She heard the cold in my voice. She knew something had changed. What did you do? She asked, already backing up. I didn't answer her question. I slid a flash drive across the counter. I filed for divorce yesterday. Cited adultery. The evidence is all backed up, time-stamped, encrypted. The lawyers have it. The judge will too. She stared at the drive, her expression hardening. You can't prove anything. I already did. And then I added as I walked away. Claire left this morning. She doesn't want to become someone like you. That was when the cracks showed. Her eyes went wide. Hands trembled. I didn't say a word to her. I told her. She saw for herself. People think revenge has to be loud, explosive. It doesn't. Sometimes it's a quiet shift, a soft goodbye, a daughter choosing not to follow the same path. I don't regret what I did. They played with poison. I just made sure they tasted it.